Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and let me introduce you to a section of Scare Mega 007's channel, which is Chris Cartaya's channel. An interesting section we're going to call Ask Chris. Now, this is volume 1, and I'm going to start episode 1. I'm going to try to get, mod the planet back up one day when I get streaming up, because this house has terrible bandwidth in the places that I mod. We're going to start with the top 10 questions I am asked every day, okay, in the Nerf community. Number 1. How come you don't like hot glue? Well, okay. Let me show you an example of something somebody else does to attach a barrel to a plunger tube. This is off a Friend's blaster, and this was hot glued, anchored in place in the shell, and anchored in place in the plunger tube. I was working on this lately because I decided to put a better mount of brass on here. I had it in here, pressed in here, and it was working really good, but I decided, nah, let's really glue this in, okay? So this is my friend's pistol split. Now, one of the mod jobs I do, and what happened was we have a vinyl gasket into a piece of a barrel material that was glued in with hot glue. It was something like that. Okay, the problem was, because there's no adhesion properties chemically with hot glue and like vinyl, it broke apart one of these days due to the pressure, the vibration, whatever. And hot glue is good for a lot of things. Okay, a ton of things, as a matter of fact. But what I don't like about hot glue is that it's not good for everything. It doesn't have a chemical adhesion to something that you just need. You get something filled or bonded. It's good for a lot of things in life, but not everything. I more use glue, like epoxy, crazy glue, Gorilla Glue. I more do things as such. So look at this barrel assembly. If you guys remember this barrel assembly, this was the barrel assembly that actually caught fire. No shit. I used an acetone-based lube and it caught fire. You may believe the story, you may not believe the story, but look at all the cooked-on Teflon I've never gotten off. Well, anyway, this was the barrel assembly put on the first Ultra Match Fire Strike ever, okay? I still have it. This was cut away because there was a laser sight below that I was putting on there, and yeah. As you can see, even with a fire, even with all the firings, even with everything, it's glued, it's hammer tapped, this is all glued together, it's not coming off. And this thing had a major amount of vibration, to the point that the next version I came up with was ZDS. I actually made this spring-loaded. It was so much, but as you can see, it stayed together, no problems. And I like to use glues that are more chemically compatible with what I'm doing. Okay, question number 2. Why are all your videos either in your bathroom or your bedroom? Well, pretty much that's the space I work out of. And when I stopped doing a lot of range tests, because a lot of people were really butthurt how far they went, or said, oh, it arches a bunch, or oh, that's trick photography, oh, Elvis came in and placed the darts down there for you. I mean, really, every excuse you can think of, right? I just started doing more chronograph tests, and I started doing more stuff, okay? And because of that, a lot of my stuff was indoors, along with several other issues you're going to hear later on about me, which is going to be the next few questions, actually. Why I'm mainly in my bedroom modding, or in my bedroom testing, or in my bedroom doing stuff. About 80-90% of what I do is pretty much in the workshop. Okay, and a lot of videos you'll hear my air cleaner, HEPA air cleaner, always ripping, or you'll see the ceiling fan go, and all that. Okay, number 3, why are your video quality so shitty? Well, there's a time and a place for doing videos, and a lot of times it's at night. You see, my schedule is kind of like I go to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and on Facebook or I'm watching movies or whatever, and I get up at like 1 or 2, and by the time it comes around the shop, like right now it's 6 o'clock, it's 6 p.m. The sun's still out because it's getting close to summer, it's right after daylight savings, but I'm usually working on stuff at night, and usually when I have someone to show somebody something, it's usually right in the middle of me working on something. So I usually, it's at night and my lighting isn't that good. because I just haven't been able to find lights. I'm on a very low budget. Most people think, well, you do all these mods and this and that. Does that make you money? Actually, no. I actually lose. Last year, I think I lost about $300. Now, put in mind, that's self-supporting my hobby in Nerf, okay? 300 is minus 300 out of my pocket to develop my stuff and to actually use it. But on the books, it's actually minus 300. I can actually file a tax return and say, yep, this business lost $300 between developing stuff I sold. It cost me more to develop my mods than it is to sell them. So anybody that wants to get cunty with me, being the IRS, Social Security, whatever, yeah, there it is. Okay, number 4. Are you an alcoholic? Ha, absolutely I am an alcoholic. Now, that's a really difficult thing to classify, because to a lot of people, an alcoholic is defined a little differently. Some people say it's somebody who drinks, gets slammed once a weekend. Some people say it's somebody who drinks every single day. Okay? Now, I don't drink every single day, and I do have my limits. One thing I do is I pretty much, when I drink, I'll drink maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And it's usually at night. I've never gotten a DUI. I've never gotten in trouble drinking. I've never gotten in like a drunken brawl. As a matter of fact, when I see trouble, I run from it, sort of. But I consider myself an alcoholic, yeah. Why? Because I like drinking. I drink. Every month, I don't drink for an entire week before I get paid for the month. And I get paid by Social Security for the month because I'm actually on Social Security. And the reason I'm on Social Security is because, well, I'm disabled. I had a stroke when I was born, and I have many things, learning disabilities, hard depression. One of the reasons, like I said, there are reasons, why is he always in the bedroom? Well, I suffer from pretty hard depression, man. I mean, and I don't think I'm worthless or this or that or anything like that. But in all honesty, I have had quite a difficult life. I was a special ed all my life. I've been struggling with work and school all my life, never really succeeding. I had all sorts of social problems, so when people think I'm strange, okay, I understand. Here's this 40-year-old guy playing Nerf. I mean, I get it, you know. But I don't think that any age is too old to play Nerf. But that's one reason my video quality sucks, is one, money. I don't have a lot of money. I try to get new sports cams when I see them. I actually go on YouTube and I'll check out the video quality. Like this one I'm shooting at right now. The video quality was, bitchin' awesome in the day. But it's really bulky because when you put it on your head cam, it's like a stick. It bounces up and down because it's, you know. And then also, it doesn't film night photography very well. As a matter of fact, terrible. I just have never had money to buy a GoPro. I've never had money to buy a good camera. But in all honesty, video is not one of my strong suits. I've made great music. I've played electric lead guitar since I was, you know. Wait. I have been playing guitar all my life. You know, talented person. I'm not dumb or stupid or anything. I don't know how to function in life. And one of those things I'm dysfunctional about, definitely video. Okay? Number 5. Okay. Number 5. Why do your mods take so long to build? Good question. Why do my mods take so long to build? Well, see, I don't just throw stuff together or use solutions that are already present. Like, for example, I was looking at Etsy one day, and this guy had a long strike that he was selling. He actually was selling a series of them. And he paints them. They look really nice and neat. They don't look like the Hasbro blue, yellow, orange, red, green even, okay? It's painted, looks all tactical, has a little cheapo little airsoft scope on it, and has 8 kilograms of some orange ModWorks mod in there. Hey, yay, it shoots like 80 feet. Way, yay! Oh, that's so great! That blaster shoots 80 feet. Oh my gosh! And I'm sure he could get it out the door in 2 or 3 weeks, because all you're really doing is painting a shell, and you are just use mods. You're just using some Orange ModWorks kit somewhere or something. Hey, that's great. Here, I want to show you something. A little kid running from a block. Yes, okay. See that cul-de-sac way back there? Right where that drain is. And you see where that Honda landed? Right over there? I've shot that with a bird of prey. I've gone all the way from boom, and I've gone into that lawn. I've gone in there. Usually, I hit around where that round tree is. That's about 200 feet from there to there. And I've done that flat, not arching, flat out. Okay? You can see, like, after about this point right here, it kind of, the whole block tapers off and goes downhill. So it's a little hard to really calculate, I would say, past 190 feet. See that? But yeah. Okay? That's my block. Okay? To develop something like that, that takes work. That takes effort. That takes skill. And almost every time I build something, other than a sharp, even my last sharp fires I built, I still played with the binding a little bit. I played with a timing ring, this and that. Everything I build, I take my precious time with. One thing I believe in more than anything, and if you don't like it, you can buy somewhere else. That's fine by me. I won't get offended. Okay? I believe in getting it right, no matter how long it takes. Okay? The stuff I build takes time. Okay? An X-Mando with an 18 kilogram spring load, that takes time to build. But as you can see, well, there it is. There's the one that's going to fit under the plunger rod right here. And then there's the one, where did I put it? The one that's going to fit back. I think it's in here. Is it in here? Yeah. This is not the spring I'm using, but I had to support this when I was drilling it out and filing it. I had to support this on a spring, as well as that one, too. This was on the same spring. So there's one that goes in the back. I'm going to make that a little bigger to fit the pole. But as you can see, I take my time on this stuff. I'm not just modding something from a kit or something someone else did, or I am progressing. I'm doing something that's better. Hopefully, when I do this, other X-Mondos will be modded, much the manner I do, which gives me a great responsibility to get it right. Okay? Not just not to break the blaster, which I can do without breaking blasters. I think I've only broken 3 blasters in my day. 2 of them were recons, and one was a hammer shot. I actually blew the O-ring right out of the damn thing. And then I tried to glue the turret, so it was just one solid piece, and the priming mechanism didn't work very well. Anyway, I hate revolvers. I just hate them. Okay? But, yeah. I take my time modding stuff, and I develop. And my motto is not copy or steal. It is to make something new. Okay, next question, number 6. Are you dying of cancer? No, I am not dying of cancer. I did very, very sick in January of 2016, right after I came home from Las Vegas, Nevada, with my friends. We spent 5 days in Las Vegas celebrating New Year's. We were right in front of the Caesars Palace on that one corner where Caesars and Bally's is and everything. And we were, it was really cool. There were 7 fireworks shows. They didn't know if it was going to fly because it was windy, but they ended up doing it, and I was, Caesars was the best. It was just absolutely great. But what appears to have happened is I caught something called amebiosis. And amebiosis is a disease where if you have a piece of uncooked or poorly cooked food, like pizza, taco, whatever, something off a lunch truck, which I guess in Vegas there's a lot of food that's a lot like a lunch truck, I guess you could say, buffet style food and stuff like that, where I ate a lot in the forum shops and this and that. I ate a lot of pizza that, okay, maybe it wasn't all that great. And amebiosis is a disease where a parasite that's made to eat bacteria actually can eat things in your body. As a matter of fact, they can put a hole straight through your liver. Just straight through it, okay? Well, at first they thought it was a sinus infection. They gave me about 10 days worth of doxycycline. They tested me for an amoeba known as Nigella fowli, which is a brain-eating amoeba. Well, I didn't have that. That had a 95% chance of killing me. But I get another amoeba, as it turned out, that had about a 10 to 15% chance of killing me. So I am the closest I was to death. Now, I recovered from it I did find my taste buds weren't the same for a month because they had to give me antifungal and antibacterial medication, which messed up my taste buds, a few other things. But ever since then, I've been weak. And not weak like I can't, like, slug somebody and knock them out. Not that kind of weak. The difference between sleeping 8 or 9 hours a day and sleeping anywhere from 10 to 13 hours a day. And I've been sleeping a lot ever since that happened. It caused some change in my body. My metabolism or whatever, I don't really know. But I know I don't have cancer. I don't have a fatal disease. I'm fine. I'm always here to help people at talking on Facebook. I'm totally cool with that. Okay. And then the last question I get answered, number 7. Why don't you make a homemade? Well, real easy. As much as I just don't feel that a homemade is quite a Nerf gun, as much as they are great blasters and there's lots of work that goes into them, and the only thing that's really different is the material. I just don't, you know what I mean? I like the fact that I got something like this, right? It's a Nerf blaster. It's sleek, you know. I can shoot this 150 feet. That's bitchin', you know. I get some Singapore darts in there. Or if you're going with 6 slugs, maybe 75, 80 feet, okay. And 6 slugs have their place, by the way. Especially if you don't want to be chasing down your darts for a freaking mile. Or lose them. Because believe me, I lose Singapore darts in the oddest, weirdest places. Because the farther darts go, the more you have to chase them, okay? And that's the truth. And most battle is hand-on, combat. You don't really need long range unless you really want to be long range, okay? I like the idea of a girl blaster no one would ever suspect could do super long range and power. It can do it. You take advantage of what Hasbro has built and put aside, and you can make something good of it. There's some thrill that comes from that. It's also more the idea of, I like doing things that are original. Homemades, there are a lot of original ideas every day. Hoppers, catches, barrel materials, you name it. But for some reason, I just don't do that. And no, it has nothing to do with my comments back when I first started in the Nick, because I was being picked on for claiming that my Retaliator could shoot 100 feet, which it did. Well past 100 feet. I mean, well, not well like 150, but you get what I'm saying. People in Singapore doing it every day. So, really, it's possible. Especially if you got a dual spring load or a strong spring load, like 14 kilograms. Very possible. It's not my comments I had back then. I just said it because I'm just like, all these people are stuck with homemades to just pick on the Retaliator people with the theory I had. But now these people that I picked on me, a lot of them are my friends or acquaintances. I'll talk to them. I'll be cool with them. I'll chat with them. I'm totally fine. I have no ill, bitter will. That has nothing to do with the fact I don't mod homemades. Okay, it's not my specialty. My specialties are super stock pistols for the most part, and I've done flywheels. I've done a few air guns. I've done Retaliators, Rampages, a few long shots. Okay, but it's just not what I do, and it's not my field. And I just, and well, let's do question number 8. Why not a rainbow pistol? It goes right along with question 7. Why not a rainbow pistol? You could go farther with a rainbow pistol. Yeah, I could. But the thing is everybody's made a rainbow pistol. And made a night fighter pistol. And made all sorts of stuff. But how many people made a large plunger tube pistol with a 2 and 1/3 travel on it? And gotten it to do those kind of velocities? Not many people. Okay? It's an unexplored field of what I do. Okay, and I don't care how many people copy me or not, how popular it is in the Nick or not. That's not my motivation. Okay, my motivation is I'm playing, I'm fun, I'm loving it. Okay, I'm having fun, and that's what Nerf is all about, is having fun. Okay, and that's what's most important to me. That's what's most important to me. But it's not that I hate homemades. It's not that I hate air guns. Actually, I have air guns. Look, I got an Ultimate Missile Blast there. I've got an AirTech 2000. I take that to wars, actually. Okay? It's not any sort of bias, or I don't like their designs. It's just not what I choose to mod. And I don't choose it because I just feel that people just, they'll go with a mod, let's say, like a Hailfire, and they'll put batteries in a Hailfire. They'll put, and not trust fires, no, but like, they'll put a LiPo, and they'll get some honey badgers, and they'll throw in a Hailfire. And then they'll get up to that level, 120, 130, where they're happy for a while, and then they'll go and they'll play in a Nick War, and they won't like it, and they'll be like, they'll immediately jump to homemade. So there's this whole territory, in my opinion, where you're going from, flywheel and mid-range retaliator land, with your orange modworks mod, maybe some explorer, seal breach stuff, maybe, okay? And then you're going into, they'll go right in homemade. There's this whole territory of unexplored modded stock. And I didn't like that. I thought it needed, it really needed more exploration. That a modded stock pistol could do more. And I really, really felt that way. So, along with question 7, we'll just call that the end of the question number 7. That's why I don't do a homemade. Because my stuff is not about copying others. It's more about doing my own direction. And may some of my stuff actually be influenced by others. The Bird of Prey is actually influenced by Zeke. His name is Zeke. His handle on Nerfhaven actually Ice 9. And Ice 9 made what's called Frankenfinder. Okay? I had seen a lot of these photos when I was making the Ultramatch Fire Strike. Okay, original one. Okay. I was making it. But, how much it influences? Not that much. How much it influenced Bird of Prey? A ton. A ton. When the suggestion was given, why not just throw a long shot plunger tube in there? Why do you have to put a Magnus plunger tube in there? John, who was talking about the Type M. If it wasn't for Ice 9 doing it, I don't think I would have done it. If he wouldn't have made a Night Finder with a long shot plunger tube, I wouldn't have done it, and I wouldn't have tried to put an exo shell on it where his is just glued to the Night Finder. I actually put an exo shell on there. I wouldn't have tried that either, there were a lot of things I looked at the design I liked and I didn't like and things like that, but it was an influence. A lot of stuff is influential, but not really stealing. I like to be like that, I like to work that way. And I like to, it's a satisfaction if I did it. I got it done. It's my doing. The Ultramatch series, all my doing. Is it influenced by single Night Finders that have K26s in them? Yes, they are. But what did I do? I like the larger plunger tube of the Fire Strike. I felt that the Fire Strike had more potential than to do 80 feet. I felt that if you just reinforce back here with a steel plate and then you epoxy the head, a lot of people couldn't come up with an answer to the riveted head. How do you keep that riveted head on there? Fill the whole thing solid with 2-part epoxy. That's what I do. And then come up with a spring load, a twin spring load. A lot of people had abandoned twin spring loads. Well, I didn't like that. I was like, dude, you could do it. Let's go do that. Why not? I mean, look how small that draw is. So a lot of my stuff is borrowed in that sense, but it is not copied. Okay, again, that sort of syndrome that I've seen, and it's not bad. I don't look down at any modders for doing this. Okay, that syndrome of, okay, all of a sudden my modded stock's not good enough, I gotta go homemade. That syndrome of, oh my god, my mod stock's not good enough, I gotta go airgun. Okay, great alternatives, but I just feel that modded stock does not have the cutoff of 120, 130 feet per second. I got modded stock pistols that are doing 260, 270, 280, 290 feet per second, and higher, and higher. If you think about it, an AT2K is modded stock. It goes, I would say, I've gotten it up into the 300 foot per second range if I single it. If I use a turret, probably more like 240, 250, okay? I just feel that there is an area in nerves that gets ignored too much. So, anywho, those are my 7 questions I'm answering. I want you to put down more questions. You can either put it down, you can send me a PM on Facebook, you can put it down in the comments down below, or send me an email at thechriscartayaproject at gmail.com. And if you don't know what the Chris Cartaya Project is, it was my former music project I had from the last decade. So if you want to check out my music too, I'll throw you some links. Well, anyway, this is Chris Cartaya. Hopefully this video comes out better. It probably won't, And I'm the kind of guy who doesn't shoot things like 3 or 4 takes. I just say, screw it. 1 take, great, fine. Just like Ed Wood used to do. So anyway, the Ed Wood of Nerf. Signing off.